Hello, everyone. So nice to be back. I'm Janice, and yeah, we're back with another meditation with Caverly this morning. This is going to be my last day welcoming you all and bringing Caverly on. And if you're brand new, I'm sorry to just be finding you right now, but I think for many of you, we've been together on this journey for a while, and I just wanted to start today by saying thank you. I've been deeply touched by this community, just like it seems like everyone else has been, and I've been really grateful for this space over the last months together. So yeah, one reminder, one announcement is that this Friday will be the last morning that Caverly is going to be leading a daily meditation through Sangha Live. So as that wraps up, I really encourage everyone here, anyone who's benefited, anyone who wants to stay in touch and keep practicing with Caverly, to join her newsletter. I will drop a link in, but once things close on Friday, we won't have a way to reach you. We won't have a way to share what she's doing in the world. So you can just sign up by going to her website, and again, I'll drop the link in. So just a couple of announcements. Friday's the last day, and that there's going to be a reunion call in August. So Caverly's kind of taking a step back for the month of August, but wants to touch back in with you all. That'll be August 4th. And then very exciting that, she's going to continue a daily meditation twice a week in September through Presence Collective, through her own platform. That'll be on Zoom, and I believe it's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, starting in September. So this is truly just a pause for this community. The form is changing, but what has been started here, what has been born here, is going to continue. And then through Sangha Live this Saturday, July 11th, which is also Joyce's birthday, those of you who've been around, my mother, is the Caverly's first ever book reading. She just is releasing her book, a children's book about mindfulness. All are welcome. Bring your children, bring your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews. It's going to be a really sweet and special event through Sangha Live this coming Saturday. And then I think the last thing I want to plug for Caverly is just her July 25th retreat. That is going to be a co-led, a co-facilitated retreat. It's focusing through a white identified lens on racism. So if you're a white identified person who's interested in how to bring that content into your practice, this is a wonderful opportunity. So I'll be dropping the link in for that. Oh, and Charlie, thank you everyone, Maria, Charlie, and others. Thank you for your thank yous. It's been a privilege. It really has. It's been an honor to be here and just get in it with y'all. This is an unprecedented time in our world, and to have this space to come and process and be together has made such a difference in my life and how I've been able to navigate it. So I think this will also be my last time reminding you about this green button. Thank you for your support, those of you who've been able to show up and give consistently, and especially as we wrap up, if you are able to offer a donation to Sangha Live, it makes all the difference. They have been providing this daily meditation series for months now. It's something that was born, that a conscious choice they made to up their offerings when COVID started. And it's required a lot of work in the background. And it's been, just a tremendous offering to the world. So if you can support financially, please do. Please do if you can. All right. I think that's all for my announcements today. Again, thank you all. And I'm going to bring on Caverly.
Janice, thank you so very much
Thank you.
I had to move my poem to the side so I can actually see you and just say, I'm so grateful for your willingness and your support and your care and your love. Thank you so much. And I know I'll get to talk to you later, but happy early birthday to my fairy godson, Janice's dear one. He's about to turn 1, which is really exciting. And yeah, happy early birthday to Joyce as well. Friends, again, Joyce has been doing the transcriptions for these calls, and that lets me have little things to pull for Instagram. If you don't follow along there, please do. It'd be lovely to see you there. So I did bring in a poem today, and thanks as usual for saying hello on the sidebar, letting me know you're there. I actually stepped out to refill my cup of tea during the beginning of her announcement. So I'm not sure if she mentioned that Wednesday night class is tonight. So for those of you who benefit from that reminder, because it does work for your time frame, please do join us this evening. It is Wednesday, right? Yes. Do join us this evening, 7 p.m. Thank you, Janice. Thanks so much. So, as I said, I have a poem for you, and I could say a lot about this little poem, but I think instead I'll hear from you first, please. What's alive this morning? Where are you this morning? If you've never shown up for one of these calls before, welcome. For example, if you were at the teaching last night through the Charlottesville Insight Meditation Community. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I often will, or afternoon, depending on where you are. Good morning, good afternoon, welcome. In that sidebar, please name a few things that you're present to. What's alive for you in this moment? Sharon, thank you. Love for dear ones and all. Yeah, love for this Sangha. Janice, thanks for posting these links in the sidebar. I am, friends, excited about this children's book reading on Saturday. I will acknowledge that originally I'd been told that the actual children's book, if you attend these calls regularly, you've heard me mention that I haven't actually gotten to see the book that I wrote and hold it yet. It's all been on the computer. So I'm quite excited that to get this physical copy. And I was told it was going to be really hot off the press, that they were going to overnight it to me in time for the Sangha Live call on the 11th. And then I got an email yesterday saying, oh, we're delayed in the warehouse. And so anyway, I'll be reading an ebook for the book reading, which is, what do you do? But I'm really excited to share it with you. So I hope you can join me there. And tell your friends, tell friends with children. It's for ages 9 and up. Katie, thanks for naming. Feeling anxious. Kiki, good morning from Granada. I'm present to community and togetherness. Joyce, the sweetness of life, including separations. Yeah. Charlie, I'm annoyed with a couple guys in my house this morning, but that's just the cloudy sky I woke up to. I know it'll clear up soon. Kiki, yes, it will, Charlie, especially after sitting with us. So true. Thank you. Clinton, gonna miss you. Thank you, Clinton. As you all have heard, I really feel the same way. I was just telling my husband this morning that this opportunity that came my way through Sangha Live has truly been one of the most rewarding teaching experiences of my life. Just having this organic unfolding of teachings based on you all, based on what's here together, everyone who's participated has contributed to the way that river has run. So thank you. Mimosa, I'm a bit irritated too. Charlie with a phone call. I knew I would be, and I was. Yeah. Thank you for naming that. Solidarity, friends, in our identification. Mary Jane, equanimity equals freedom from attachment and from aversion, allowing to let be, relax into things just as they are, what is. Enjoyed last night. Yeah, thanks, Mary Jane. It was really sweet to see you there. Thank you. Yeah, and I appreciate that definition of equanimity. Maria, much love and gratitude, and some relief and tears through staying present. Lovely. And Maria, I saw your pictures of the sea. So beautiful. John, feeling all the change this morning. There is a lot of it. Thank you, John. Kiki, blessed to have you as my meditation teacher, Caverly, and to be a member of this wonderful Sangha. Agreed. So blessed to be here, to be part of this. So happy that Alyssa and I found that reunion time. Tell your friends that won't be closed to our group, but it will just be such a sweet way to come together again, and a reminder to join that mailing list so that we can give you updates if we find another date that we can throw on the calendar. For now, that seemed like a for sure, yes, that early August date. And then again, we'll come back to something regular in September. All right, friends, with that, we shall sit. Yeah, thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Mimosa. Again, thank you all for being here. Alyssa told me yesterday folks on my end are working hard to get the recordings all uploaded to the YouTube page the Caverly Morgan YouTube page, where I know they can live for as long as they can live there. I don't know how long Sangha Live will leave the recordings up there. We should ask that. But for now, I believe most of the recordings can be found on Sangha Live. So if you're just joining us, and here we are closing out Friday morning, know that you can still access what has been in the past. And thank you again, Joyce, for titling all those, because it really will hopefully help when you go through to look for something specific. So we shall sit. Thank you. Let's start by taking 3 of the longest and deepest inhalations and exhalations you've taken yet today. Friends, and I also, I just had a little vision of something I've been sitting with, wanting to mark Friday's last call in this form together. And it just arose that it would be so lovely to focus on gratitude as a community. So I would like to bring in a meditation focused on that theme. I will be sitting between now and Friday with the heart of gratitude, in the heart of gratitude. And I invite you to do the same, because I'm bringing a poem today. Tomorrow will likely be open, but we'll see what happens, what unfolds. Tomorrow might be a nice time to keep some openness so that we can see if anyone wants to just engage on screen. This will be the last chance for a while for us to have these engagements, quote unquote, in person. So I want to focus on that in terms of questions, getting questions wrapped up, tied up, if folks have them about practice. But it feels very alive, this focus on gratitude. So I would like to invite you now to be thinking ahead about whether between now and Friday, there's any expression of gratitude that you want to bring. It doesn't have to be about gratitude for these practice times together, just gratitude. I mean, this theme arose because we're speaking about gratitude for practice. But between now and Friday, you might want to create a little art project where, make something that expresses gratitude in your life, start giving your attention to gratitude. See what happens between now and Friday if you do that. So please sit with that. You might wish to write a little something. I don't want to say poem, because you don't need to think of yourself as a poet. Just a journal entry or a poem. Just turn your attention that direction. We'll see what unfolds, acknowledging that theme for Friday. Okay, thank you. And yes, Erica, thanks for all that have contributed to the recordings. Yeah, thank you. Blessings to all of you. Yeah, you too, Erica. Oh, great. And Kiki, thanks for that lead. Kiki, send me one that's a favorite. All right, friends. The poem I brought for you today is called Keeping Things Whole. It's by Mark Strand. In a field, I am the absence of field. This is always the case. Wherever I am what is missing. When I walk, I part the air, and always the air moves in to fill the space where my body's been. We all have reasons for moving. I move to keep things whole. Keeping Things Whole by Mark Strand. In a field, I am the absence of field. This is always the case. Wherever I am what is missing. When I walk, I part the air, and always the air moves in to fill the spaces where my body's been. We all have reasons for moving. I move to keep things whole. We're so deeply conditioned to identify with this body mind. I am these thoughts, or I am this form. Perhaps for some of us, it's new to consider I am what's missing. I am empty. I am formless. I am inherently open, by nature, naturally allowing by nature. I, true nature, am infinite by nature. uncolored and untarnished by nature. I am whole. I, true nature, naturally include everything. Because everything is made of me. I, true nature, exclude nothing. Because there is nothing that is not me. I don't want anything because wanting implies that I lack. I don't reject anything because that would imply that I am separate and have the capacity to push something away. I cannot push away myself. I cannot cling to myself. Those activities belong to the conditioned mind. Which is also not separate from me. It's not that I own that mind, but where else could that mind exist other than in me? Pure consciousness. Everything that is known through me. I, true nature, am the intimacy of being. The infiniteness of presence. and the unconditional nature of pure love. I, true nature, am ever present. I, awareness, am unborn. And I, pure consciousness, am undying. Thank you, friends. Thank you for your presence. A reminder to support Sangha Live, these teachings, as you are able. And know that if you are not able to financially support, know that your presence is a support. This conscious community is a support. Thank you. So I would love to have the last 15 minutes of this session be devoted to exchange with you. Please write in the sidebar if you're up for coming on screen. Spencer, this poem did not resonate with me. Your words, Caverly, were to me the poetry that did. There was a feeling of the words moving deeply inside of me, melting resistance, melting thought, with a reoccurring aliveness vibrating within. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Spencer. I like that phrase, vibrating aliveness. When we're identified with the conditioned mind, we lose touch with that vibrating aliveness, don't we? It can seem far away or distant, even though that vibrating aliveness is what we are made of. Oh, great. Katie, you'd be open to coming on. Not sure how to do it, though. No problem. Katie, I'd love to have you come on. And Janice will help you do that. So Janice will be sending you a little invite of sorts. I've never been on that end, so I don't really know how to do it either. But I know that Janice does the magic, so she'll send you a little invite of sorts. Look at your screen and look for that invite. And hopefully with ease, you'll be able to come on and we'll be able to have an exchange. While we're waiting to see if the technology will support us, we've had such good experience recently with Crowdcast. While we're waiting to see, perhaps others could just write in the sidebar, what are you present to now? Maybe the same thing you were present to at the beginning of today's session. It may have changed. What's here now? What's alive now? Intimacy. Maria, thank you. Another thing that we forget when we are identified with a conditioned mind, the intimacy of being. Charlie, yes, still annoyed with some guys in the house, but I feel better overall. Shakti, I feel the peacefulness of the expanse of beingness. It's a really lovely way to say it, the expanse of beingness. Again, when we're identified, our own being is perceived as limited, finite. Oh, Katie, ugh, it isn't working with my computer for some reason. Trying again. Thank you so much for trying, Katie. And you could always do a test with Sangha Live. Maybe Janice can tell you how to do that. Oh, maybe it worked. Hello.
Hello. Yay.
Hi. Oh, no. Hi and bye. Joyce, lovely poem. I love the moving and having it filled in behind.
Chrome. Oh, there we go.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, where are you?
I'm in New York State.
Great, welcome. So, hello. Oh, and there's a lovely babe there too. How
Yes.
sweet. Great. So what's alive for you?
I thought it was great your meditation today about wholeness, because I've been thinking about that myself, and it's been difficult to kind of integrate the good parts of me with the like shadow parts of me, and all of that is me. And thinking, I don't know, when I think about being whole, I think, well, I'm not quite whole because I have these things that are not good about me. So how can I accept that? But I realized that I have to accept the whole being to, I guess, to move forward.
Yes, thank you. Katie, right?
Yes, Katie.
Yeah, Katie, thank you. You know, when we're in a place, I know the place you're speaking from intimately, at least my own experience, my own version of the place you're speaking from. And something that I've noticed that can happen for me is I can forget to question who's even describing, viewing, labeling these parts of me as good or bad or right or wrong or flawed or shadow. Or it's not to say that those things don't exist, but it's really worth seeing, like it's really worth seeing how am I coming to these conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's lovely that your sweetheart, your babe is nearby right now, because you can see this is a child who's fussy in some moments. This is a child who's experiencing a type of stillness in some moments. It's all part of the same beingness, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So first, it can be useful to question how am I coming? Hello, dear. How am I even coming to these conclusions? Right. So to start is to start with questioning that. What hello? What in me is even coming to these conclusions? Because if you were to go back and hear this again, you'd hear that one of the places of focus is actually on recognizing ourselves not as this body mind that's trying to accept these different parts who are labeled as good or bad or flawed or not flawed, but recognizing ourselves as something much larger than that. For example, when you're resting in and knowing yourself as unconditional love, it's probably quite easy for there to be lots of room for whatever's arising for your child. Do you know that place in yourself as a mother?
Yeah.
But if you're identified with labeling shadow or light or flaws, and then trying to integrate, it's like I describe that as conditioned activity that's not in keeping with the natural function of inherent wholeness. Our true nature is inherently whole.
Yeah.
So as I say all that, what's arising for you? What do you notice?
It's interesting because I feel like I have to, so the judgment of good and bad, and then getting beyond that and looking at
inherent nature of wholeness. I want you to leave that in, please. But then I feel like I have to conceptualize that itself, the inherent nature.
Yeah.
So it's interesting trying to. I feel like I live in my head a lot, so integrating all of that is tricky.
Yes, and I appreciate that you can name that. From my perspective, that is simply a conditioned habit. Most of us are conditioned to live in our head a lot. What you're feeling called by right now, Katie, is beautiful. You're feeling called to know inherent wholeness. And what's required of us to know that experience of inherent wholeness is to disidentify, to no longer attach to these thoughts that we're habituated to attach to, that keep us up in the head.
Right.
So as a practice, it'll be helpful to see that tendency to stay in the head, noodling around, arise, and to soften, to return to your experience. And I'm glad this meditation was recorded. I think it might be one to listen to again, to give it a go. What else is arising now, Katie?
Honestly, some distraction.
Yes, I can't imagine what that would be. Katie, bless you. Our own conditioned mind can be quite distracting, and there's much more going on as a parent beyond that, and that's all part of practice. That's all part of practice. So none of it needs to be rejected. This is all part of the wholeness. This is all part of the vibrancy of being. I deeply appreciate you calling in and giving yourself the opportunity to be with all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
And there will be a moment where there will be less distraction. And I do encourage just listening to that meditation again, allowing yourself to have an experience of wholeness, not just thinking about it, not going beyond concept.
Right. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Katie. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate that. It's lovely to see you. Okay, friends, thank you. I'll now catch up with these comments here. Okay. Sharon, I feel very connected to the web of life. I'm still thinking about an analogy for presence that works for me, but I've also realized I don't actually need one. It's possible to be directly present. Yes, very true. Mimosa Caverly said something in the meditation about consciousness, unborn and undying. Could you please repeat that? Joyce took notes, and so Joyce will, maybe Mimosa, you could just drop Lissa at presencecollective.org your email address, and Alyssa can access the transcription later. But I likely said something about the way in which consciousness itself, true nature, is inherently unborn and undying. But we'll find out what it was exactly. And if that speaks to you, know that phrasing is inspired by Zen Master Bankei, and you could even check out Zen Master Bankei's book. It's called either The Unborn or The Unborn Mind. It's his teachings translated. John, Thank you, Mimosa. John, noticing the contractions that have occurred around change that has not been assimilated or accepted, letting go, feeling openness. Some of the pain, oops, it moved up, friends, sorry about that. Some of the pain that was stuck there in those contractions. Beautiful, grateful for practice. Me too. Thank you, John. Okay, great. Katie, how sweet is the young presence who entered the picture and the hearts of dozens of us sharing the moment with you. Joyce, Mimosa, I, awareness, am unborn, and I, pure consciousness, am undying. So yes, just one small typo there, but that sounds familiar. Joyce, thanks so much for that. That was fast. I, awareness, am unborn, and I, pure consciousness, am undying. Clinton, and this goes back to Katie, right? So if I am identifying, if I'm recognizing myself as someone who needs to integrate all these different parts of me, that's quite different than recognizing myself as the unborn, as that which is naturally accepting and allowing. Clinton, yes, Katie, you're beautiful and strong, but maybe you are your worst critic. And Clinton, I would add the conditioned mind. The inner critic is always the worst critic, but that's not you. It's not you, Katie. It's not you, Clinton. Thank you. It's really touching to see you all support each other. Joyce, maybe. Okay, thank you. Shakti, I appreciate this inquiry into our minds and hearts and keeping focus and celebration of intention itself. Celebrating this discussion. Thank you, Katie. Yes, thank you. Let's say hello to the tiny human. Hello, tiny human. Sharon, wasn't she lovely? What a joy. Okay, John and Nancy, thank you, Katie. This is the real world, distractions coming into our practice. It is indeed. Jane, thank you. Thank you all. It's wonderful sitting together. Katie, Ellen, Katie, there are lots of moms out here, beautiful family, and great experience of the lesson of your question, all love. Beautiful. Okay, friends, thank you so much. Yes, Clinton, good point. The inner critic isn't us. Yes. Beautiful. John, the unborn, now sitting right beside me. Good. I imagine you mean the book, John, given that you, John, are the unborn. So the book itself may be beside you, but you, the unborn, is not something beside. Non-dual jokes. Okay, friends, thank you so very much. It's lovely to be together, and I will see you tomorrow. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.